from Germanie Bozeman here with HBCU Gameday, and I have the luxury of talking to Miss Dupe. She is an amazing woman here at Florida A&M University, the first head drum major here for the Marching 100, and she just crossed as a Beta Alpha member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. I know that's right, soror. How does it feel to just be a member of not only Delta, but of the Beta Alpha chapter?
The Beta Alpha chapter specifically, I always had a dream of being a Delta because I was inspired by the women that were my educators. But this chapter specifically, we just came back from cluster with 7 awards. Like, that's how you know that excellence is about this place. And you know, we say colloquially that we're only putting the baddest on the floor, and we always do that. So this probate was a testament to that. I'm so grateful to even have people like Germany talking to me at HBCU Gameday. Like, we really set the charts up. So I'm really glad. I'm very honored.
Yes. What does it mean to hold the number 55? Like, let's talk about the legendary lineage behind that. You have Corey Bostic, Raekwon Bostic. They were in the Marching 100. You know, Corey, she was a drum major as well for the Marching 100. But what does that legacy mean for you to continue that as a 55 here?
To me, honestly, when I received the number, I didn't even know that I would follow in that legacy because my line sister is also a Bostic. So I felt like, wow, I'm getting enveloped into another sisterhood yet again because Corey being my ism, Raekwon being my ism in 2 organizations now, and us all being also sorors in 2 organizations at the same time. It's like, wow, it was divine timing that I was on this line, this number, this year. So I'm really grateful.
Do you remember what you decided to do on December 12th?
On December 12th, I decided to postpone my graduation to the spring because it didn't feel right to walk away from the Marching 100 to potentially not perform our last performance and win or not, or to graduate and not feel like a chapter was actually closing the way that my FAMU story really could. So when I made that decision, it wasn't my immediate thought of joining the Beta Alpha chapter, but once the opportunity presented itself, I seized it, and I'm very glad that I did because the sisterhood that I experienced, even before getting into the chapter, it was like, because everyone thought I was going to graduate, the support was still there, and when I made the decision to pursue membership, it was like the biggest green light ever, honestly.
So you do know, if you did graduate, this wouldn't even be possible right now.
It wouldn't have been possible. So many of the opportunities, like the Michael Jackson opportunity, the Common opportunity, Ludacris and Will Packer, all the things that were lined up for the spring, I would have missed out on. And I'm glad that I didn't, and that my teachers, my professors, and that God really ordained the timing for everything to not work out to graduate in the fall so that I could graduate in the spring and participate in the short time that I had, but it will be very impactful in Beta Alpha as an active member.
Yes, I know that's right. And you are also a member of Tau Beta Sigma. Like, shout out to your sorors there. But how does that leadership, or how did that sisterhood kind of translate into what you're doing now with Delta Sigma Theta Sorority?
I always say it's a learning curve because the transfer of learning was hard work, commitment, a network that's so beautiful, and a history that's also so beautiful. Our founders for Beta Alpha are also founders. Some of them are founders also for the Beta Phi chapter of TBS here at FAMU. So just seeing that legacy transcend, it's like, wow, I'm exactly where I need to be with the women I want to be with, and I'm very grateful. My Beta Phi sorors, shouts out to you. And for my Raws who are also in DST, bigger shout out to you for welcoming me in and Jada in with so much love and positivity.
Yes, and one of your interviews, you actually were sitting down with Corey Bostic later this year, or last year actually.
Yeah, I would say when people ask or reference us as female drum majors, understanding the context in which they're saying it also, because it's true, we are female drum majors. When it comes to denoting history being made, that's important as well. I would say what's interesting is like she said, each drum major is picked for a specific purpose. Mm-hmm. My head drum major, great personality guy. He's also a great choreographer. He has so many good things that make him, him. I have so many great things that make me, me. She has so many things that make her, her. And God blessed us with this body. and we are women.
And y'all mentioned it was about enhancing womanhood. You know, it was about progression on that area. So how do you feel when it comes to being a member of Delta Sigma Theta now that you can continue that legacy of the advancement of womanhood?
I feel like every organization has been a stepping stone to that point, because band is like my biggest thing here, and that's why my FAMU story is what it is. It's centered around band. But then for the world and the person I want to be beyond FAMU, that's what Delta is really helping me with. Even at this SCD conference for Tau Beta Sigma, the Southeastern District, we're having a drum major panel, and seeing how the center of what we do as Delta members is about black people. The Southeastern District is mostly black people, but that's not the case for every district. But we're still going to infiltrate every district because we're the culture pioneers. We're the people who keep the history. We're the people who add the swag to what we do, and we're at the top charts. So being a member of Delta Sigma Theta, reading about the history of how we're pioneering change, not just in suffrage, but in women's health and women's sustenance, financial literacy, all of that, like that's what I'm really excited to get into.
And let's talk about it real quick. So I was not expecting, I mean, I had very high expectations for you, girl, you know that. But I was not expecting the way that you got the Marching 100 involved in that intro, the way that you did your whole greeting. Like, walk us through the creative process, even if it translated over to you as a head drum major. Walk us through that creative process of why you wanted to do your greeting like that and include them in that greeting.
I wanted to do my greeting like that also because I am a 55. And we have a history of having very show-stopping intros, literally from Corey to present day. Raekwon in 2023 singing almost her entire intro, and it was flawless and still went into All of My Love. And last year with Jada Pierce, show-stopping also with the Beyonce tune. I had to pick it up. I could not drop the ball on that. And realizing that my moment in history is about womanhood and is about being black, but it's also about FAMU. Mm-hmm. So we had to bring it home, and that's the Marching 100, and including them into that. And also just being able to trust my friends, because we couldn't really tell them anything was going on, but as soon as I told them, they said, okay, we're going for it. And it wasn't very short on me, like passing the baton to Corey, who actually kind of passed the baton to me first.
Yes.
And is my ism.
That was so adorable.
So that's the thought. There was so much that I wanted to say, but there's no way any bar could contain everything. So I was grateful for the opportunity to just say, you know what, this is my one probate, this is my one semester active as Beta Alpha. So I had to stop the show.
Okay, and with this being your last semester here, what is something that you want to leave behind, at least in this sorority, before you go?
I definitely want to leave behind. I feel like as a drum major, we always come and bring in order. Beta Alpha does not struggle with that. And I've been able to find like different ways to communicate. So seeing how, as the older person on the line, I'm able to encourage my younger line sisters. You hear a lot about first years, second years, even third years. It's just giving them that courage to like, Dupe, how can you be so confident? It wasn't always the case. So just being kind enough to tell somebody, you know what, have grace for yourself. Every show isn't perfect. We strive for perfection, but also being sisterly in the way we talk to each other. It's just different. Like in band, we know each other before we pledge CBS together. But in this organization, we kind of have to get to know each other from scratch and being patient with one another. And so the remarkable legacy that Beta Alpha already has, I just want to continue paving that forward in that short time that I have as an active member, but it will definitely be paving its way as a alumna, should I say.
Yes, get active in those alumni chapters. You did a stellar job.
Thank you.
Me, I am so proud of you.
Thank you.
You did.
Thank you for my mama.
Yes, you're welcome. You're welcome. Without her, there'd be no y'all, and y'all just shut it down completely tonight. I'm so excited for your success. Post-grad, you're gonna do amazing. Thank you for all that you've done and contributed to this university, because that did not go unseen. We are watching you, Queen. We want you to do great things once you graduate and walk that stage, and we are so proud of you. This is Dupe, the head female drum major here at Florida A&M University, and she is signing out as a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority
Incorporated.
I know that's right. I am Germanie Bozeman here with HBCU Gameday.